Look, check this out real quick. I appreciate you for clicking the video and checking this out. Make sure you subscribe, you comment, and you like, and hit that bell so you can see when I post new stuff. Also, if you a brand and you got a product or merchandise that you want to market, get in contact with me and you can get it on the platform here. Anything that I'm wearing, you can change it. If you don't like it, send me something, get it on the platform. So do that for me. To get in contact with me for that, check my link tree. Also go to my bio. You can tap in with me there. And also you can go to my social media and send me a direct message. Peace. Enjoy the show.
All right. Welcome in, man. Another episode of Podcast Perspectives. I got the big homie with me. Greatly appreciative of him coming in, getting on the platform, spreading some game like he normally do. I got my man Malik Carter. I'm saying that right?
Yeah, Malik Carter. Yep, that's it.
Malik Carter. With me, man. He big on the real estate, big on a couple other things I seen. So we about to get into some nice stuff. Anything you want to say to break yourself in, let people know who you are? Anything I missed?
Nah, man. Listen, just thanks for having me. I don't know how the people consume this mostly, right? They consume it on the podcast or on the YouTube.
Everywhere, YouTube, podcast, everywhere.
I mean, yeah, I'm starting to join, man, but I don't even know how it all works, man. But no, listen, everybody, just tap in. Listen, can I curse though in your joint?
Oh yeah, we were wrong here. We ourselves on here, man. Conversation.
Yeah, all right. I just, sometimes might slip out a little bit. You know what I mean? I'm not Samuel L. Jackson, but sometimes, right? But listen, but sometimes the best way to get it across is a little curse
word. Express yourself. Express yourself. The barbershop talk. I seen on your social media, you had Coach Carter in there. Where that come from?
So listen, the funny thing is, I've been RealEstate CoachCarter well before I was coaching. Actually, it's kind of like a prophecy, right? Because everybody I worked with back in the day called me Coach Carter. Like when the movie came out, they called me Coach Carter, right? Okay. And so when I came back in real estate full time, people already knew me as Coach Carter, right? So I was just like, well, I'm gonna rock with that, and I put the real estate in front just so people found me right on social media. They already knew what I was about. But it's kind of a gift and a curse, right? It's a gift because most of my followers follow me from real estate, right, and keeping it honest in my journey, right? People can appreciate that. But the curse is it pigeonhole me because I do other things outside of real estate. And I thought about changing the name at one point, but I'm like, nah, I'm gonna just rock out Real Estate Coach Carter.
Okay. I rock with that. I seen also on your social media you put, now is the best time than ever to invest and make money. Where that come from?
Listen, right now it's the easiest time in the history of the world to get rich. All you need is a smartphone. Listen, it doesn't matter, right? If you a chef, if you a comedian, you're doing real estate, whatever you're doing, if you are putting out quality content, right, and like real information that people can appreciate, what information, whatever it is, listen, like look at Country Wayne, making millions off his off his phone. You know what I'm saying? Like people just like, doesn't matter. You don't have to necessarily, all you need is what it shows you that all you need is an audience all this time.
And then you can even spin it. You can even spin it because a lot of times people use the phone and they just get on social media to watch, but you could use this phone to research, to contact people, to do the things that you need to get that money.
Listen, it's not even that, bro. Like, be honest with you, I get mad at people. I get mad at people for not paying attention. Like, people are building their careers right in front of you. All you have to do is hack. Right now, this is a fact. If you go, you can scroll back to the beginning of people's pages and watch their entire journey, and not only watch their journey, but you can watch how they did it, what they said, what events they did, what are they doing to get this attention. Right. You can hack everything, and they're building multi-million-dollar brands in 18 months, right? Listen, I'm gonna name drop some people, right? I'm gonna name drop, the most notoriety, like the Earn Your Leisures. They're not even 2 years old yet.
Yeah.
And they got a damn cartoon. They got a Cartoon Network, Joe. They African right now, right? Look, they making $1 million off of just 2 years of being consistent.
All right.
Right? Wall Street Trapper only been doing his thing for a year and a half, maybe by now. Right? And he put together a network making millions of dollars. Right? When you think you're watching people build businesses, listen, Ellie Talks Money. I just found out about her. She was living on her mom's couch and did 1.3 million in a year from the iPhone. What are you talking? This is the easiest time in the history of the world to get rich.
Exactly. I agree with that.
So listen, you could use your phone for entertainment, or you could use it for motivation. You can use it for research. But listen, when I'm watching, when I'm scrolling, like I'm doing research right now. I'm even doing this pod because I'm like, okay. Matter of fact, when doing this pod, this is the fact. It's because of Andre Hatchett. You know who he is?
Yeah, who's Andre Hatchett?
Andre Hatchett he's in Atlanta. He's from New York, and he's in Atlanta now. And his company is I don't want to say it wrong, but he basically helps people, teaches them how to be a mobile notary, right? That's his thing, right? And he's built out other courses, like he built out Boyce Watkins course. He built out some other notable stuff, like dude is brilliant, very good dude. And I just met him January 2020. I seen him on social media. I met him, a year before that at MG Mortgage Guys event. So I first met him, but we didn't really speak. But it's crazy how social media, we have to speak on social media. So when I saw him, it's like we gave each other a hug, like we long lost homies. Then it's like, oh, I ain't seen you in a minute, but I never like really met this man before. But social media made you feel like, we had already had that kinship, right? And I asked him, like, like what is one of the biggest reasons for your success? And he said it was getting on other people's platform. And I was like, all right, noted. So listen, and right now, I don't really care the platform, large or small, I'm gonna show up.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's dig a little deeper. So what got you into the real estate stuff?
So I'm fortunate, right? I'm fortunate to come from a family of real estate investors. My pop was in my life the entire time. My mom on real estate. My dad was a contractor and been on real estate, for years. So I never had that. I was in shells since I'm little. I was in shells, and I'm gonna say this one thing before I continue on that path, right? Because I got other things about that. My dad died like 5 years ago. It'll be 5 years in December, right? Appreciate it. The house that I was raised in, my parents bought that house in 1977, right? The year before I was born. It was a shell, right? And we lived in it as a shell. My dad renovated while we lived there. I'm talking about, I remember plastic up on the doors. I'm like, I can remember plastic on the doors to keep the wind out, kerosene heaters. I remember that journey from the house we renovated, right?
Right.
And like no steps going to the kitchen. We need the ladder to get to the kitchen. Like I remember that. And that house now is in disrepair. But once I'm done, the after repair value is $1.3 million. From a $5,000 investment in 1977.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right? And so real estate. So, but his father owned real estate, right? My uncle owned real estate. My grandfather's brother owned real estate. He had like 3 brownstones in New York, and our family they sold those for about they sold the 3 of them for like $4.5 million. The total shells for $4.5 million, right? And that our family got a large piece of money from that he bought them in like the 60s, right? We just got those millions of dollars spread out. We still have, my dad's side, we still have our land from right after the Civil War. We still own it, right? It's in a place, it's in Gloucester, Virginia, and it's called Carter's Creek. So if anybody can Google Carter's Creek, my name's Malik Carter, you can Google Carter's Creek, and that is a tip of land right there. It's like 40 acres. You could Google it, and you see the creek, that's our land. It's on the map. Check it out right there. Like we still got it.
Right.
And we sharecrop on it. My mom's side, the 100 acres of land that she was raised on, that farm in Danville, Virginia, we still own that land too. Right. And so I come from generations of land ownership. So of course we want to be in the land ownership also.
So did they pass down the knowledge, or were you just learning just from being in the midst of it?
So my mom didn't really follow it, had the knowledge like that. She knew to own, but it wasn't like my dad. My dad definitely, my dad couldn't teach me about financing. Right. My dad was in the street. He had real estate, he had the construction, but he's also in the street. So he had cash. So he couldn't teach me he could teach me how to, own these properties. So he taught me to own properties, collect rent, and level up, but he couldn't teach me how to really scale that business. Right. Because I wasn't doing what he was doing to get the money to buy the house cash. And so I'm gonna take it back to so I got that one house. My brother got two, right? One of them that he inherited. This is how generational wealth works. My dad passed away and gave my brother a triplex. That triplex, my father got from his father when he passed. So that's 3 generations. Then my brother got it and he's not selling it. So the 4th generation is going to get paid off that same triplex out here in West Philly. Right. And so it's that ownership. If you don't own it, you can't pass it down. Right. And so, yeah, I wanted to make sure that point was heard. It's important. That ownership.
So do you feel like once we get ownership, should we be trying to put that into a trust, or should we just, for now, just focus on just trying to own?
So I don't really have a trust. Because right now I'm still maneuvering. Right. I don't know what pieces I'm going to keep. I'm not going to keep. Like, right. I'm still playing Monopoly. I'm still, the prices of houses so high right now. I sold a few of my rentals I thought I would never sell because, for example, there was a house, it's a neighborhood in Philly called Germantown that I didn't want. I had it, it paid me good money, but I would rather reallocate those funds elsewhere. I'm a little debt averse. Other people love debt. I use debt, but I don't like I'm not as comfortable being in debt with the people because I did the whole debt thing. I was doing BERT before I even had a term, and I lost everything in 2008, right? And so I was over leveraged. I couldn't get out of it. So I know what that looks like, right? And people that are telling you to, refi everything out, they never seen what it looked like. I was there, right? I've seen people committing suicide. I'm saying, like, people jumped off of City Hall. Like 2008, you young, man, so you don't remember that either. But 2008 was really bad, right? It was, people don't remember how bad it got. There was a lot of suicide. There was a lot of spousal abuse, a lot of divorce. It was a lot of, like, millions of people lost their homes, right? So that was a real time. It was very tough for America, and people just forgot. I didn't forget. And so for that reason, I don't borrow as much money as I could. I don't need to, I'm at a place now where I'm comfortable. I don't need to scale up but so fast. So the house that I got, I just sold a couple, and now, like, I'm under contract for my first $1 million deal. And then I'm under contract today for 2 parcels that are, like, after they're built out, they're gonna be worth $700,000 a piece, right? And so I got another one I was gonna go settlement with today, that I'm partnering up with my guy, and we're gonna build 9 units on that. So I used those other small rentals to use that money from selling those to leverage. So no, I don't have a trust because I don't know what I'm gonna maneuver around.
I got you.
Right. So, but I do think that we should educate each other, one another, and not to shift gears at all, but at the beginning of the pandemic, be honest with you, that's when I realized I wasn't as financially literate as I thought I was. Right. I knew how to make money.
Right.
But a couple of things happened that let me know that I don't know a damn thing. Right. When I have a 2-year-old, and I'm saying like, okay, how do I pass this stuff to my kids? Like, I don't know. I talked to an attorney, they tell me one thing. I talked to my accountant, they told me one thing. Financial advisor said tell me something totally different. All three of them had different strategies. And I'm like, yo, y'all talk and figure it out and let me know what to do. And then I had to like jump on my studies, you know. And then also at the beginning of the pandemic, you know, I'm a real estate guy. Philadelphia, they shut down real estate. You couldn't go in the houses. So I'm sitting there, you know, my hand sitting on my fingers like, damn, I can't do no work. So this is like my bread. I had rental income, so I was okay. But I got 3 houses out here being renovated, and you know, money's going out, make the payment for the loans, but I can't go in. And so at that point, I'm like, okay, I need to figure out how to make some of this online money, you know. But I was listen, I was writing books, I was writing movie scripts. I was like, yo, I was trying to figure my way, like how could we get other money outside of real estate? And I came up on, I decided to, I bought a bunch of different stock courses and I learned. And to be honest with you, I made more money in the stock market than I did my rentals. And like all these years, all this blood, sweat, and
Day
tears,
trading?
years, huh?
Day trading?
I was doing a little bit of day trading, a little bit of swing trading, but you know, it's my long-term portfolio and long-term options, like those two things. I made a lot of money in the stock market, way more than my house. I mean, all these years built the portfolio up. And in 1 year, I mean, I didn't know what I'm doing. I made more money than all of that. That's to me the power of stocks. And so now it's like, with all this information out here, I think people are selfish if they don't go get the information, even if they don't use it. If you know for a fact that all your kids need to live a life of abundance is to understand real estate and understand the stock market. That's all you need. And you can live wealthy forever. You don't need anything else. Understand real estate and understand the stock market.
I agree with that.
That's it, right? And so now, if you know that and you don't go to get the knowledge to pass down to your seeds, you're being selfish because you don't want to you don't want to study for a few hours a day. You don't want to pay the money to get the teachers and the coaches and the consultants to teach you, to put you on a fast track. You rather chill and you can't be selfish.
Stay comfortable.
Listen, you can't be selfish. Especially, we don't even know how many jobs are going to be available. You know, they said like 90% of every job making less than $17 an hour will be obsolete in 3 years. Right?
And I know you're talking heavy. I know you had to have made some money in the stocks because I had just got in the stocks last year, and I had bought into Tesla at like 5 something, and they had 1,000. I sold before it got to a fool, but it was going up, and I'm like,
listen, bro, we can go back and talk about. I know you like to talk about losses. My cousin is heavy into crypto. A few years ago, he got me in. I bought Bitcoin. I had like 2 or 3 Bitcoin, and when it was 3,600, right? Listen, it went to like 6 something. I doubled up. I'm like, oh, I'm out of here. I doubled up. I'm gone. That's all I needed. Like, I don't trust this thing right here. I just did it because of you. I got out of here. I doubled up and I was happy. Now I'm looking like, damn, that'd have been worth 190 racks if I'd have held on to it, right? So, and here's the thing, right? A lot of time, it's like holding on. I understand why people don't hold on, right? People don't hold because it's like, yo, I need that money right now. I need it now. But they don't really need it. It's because of our spending habits that we need the money so bad, right? Yes, there are people in poverty. Yes, there's check to check. You know, I get it. Everybody can't go. But me and you both know, like, if you in the A, I was down there for Invest Fest a couple of months ago, and I went to Onyx. I didn't see anybody sparing any money in that facility. I didn't see anybody. I went to this other hooker spot. Matter of fact, I was in there before that. I watched the Locks versus Dipset versus in the hooker lounge down in Atlanta, and there was money to spare. There was money everywhere, right? And so yes, people was like, yo, I need to get the money right back. I gotta see my account. I gotta spend it. Right? It's not about waiting until later. We got the whole YOLO. Nah, yo, listen,
They
I
gotta live
don't
their
spend
life.
money like that. I like to invest my money. I like
And
to watch it grow.
and that's what I was about to speak on next. I seen that you talked about like being frugal. Like I'm heavy on frugal too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
not having to weigh your money and show your money. Like you know you got it, but you got to show it for.
yeah. I mean, well, it's a few reasons why I don't do jewelry. I love watches. If anything I have money on, it will be a good watch. But I mean, I don't even wear my wedding ring. I don't even wear it, right? Because I don't like how metal feels against my skin, right? So that's the reason why I don't do any jewelry. Like I bought like two very nice watches. If I put them on, I leave the house, before I get where I'm going, they're in my pocket. Like I just don't like how they feel. So no, I'm never gonna like do the jewelry. I do have to step my dress game up because I'm in places and I do have to spend money there. But other than that, oh man, let's talk about Dodge Caravan. I don't have my exotic vehicles. I still live in West Philly, very comfortable where I am. The only reason I'm thinking about moving is my son is getting older, and it's different than we worry about getting jumped. Now these 12-year-olds got ghost guns. It's different now. It's a different time. And we only had weed back then. These boys were 14 popping pills to conserve.
Yeah.
Bro. And so your mind isn't developed and you're taking psychedelics and you got a pistol. Oh my God, that's a recipe for disaster. These cats are not even thinking straight. So that's the only reason I'm thinking about moving. Other than that, my mortgage payment is $1,200 a month. Why would I leave that?
Yeah.
You know,
So what does that come from? That frugal mind state? Did that pass down or?
It just came from not having, right? Mind you, I didn't come from a family, like it wasn't a situation where money was scarce. My parents just didn't give it to me, right? They were just like, no, we're not gonna give you a whole bunch of money. And I had to make do, right? And so I think about it right now, I think what it came from is like legit thinking about it right now. Like this is a real moment. When I was in high school, my allowance was only $20 a week, and that was lunch, that was everything. So I had to stretch that $20. They gave me that was like lunch money, but they never gave me any other money. Period. Right. So I was like, okay, all right, I got $20. So I would legit try to eat lunch for $1 or $2 a day, just so for the weekend I would have some bread left over to do anything else. We got free tokens, so I didn't need to pay for the buses.
Okay.
So I was
It's in
straight.
Philly?
It's in Philly, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right. So we don't have school buses, so they give you free tokens. Now it's not token. Now they give you a free bus pass. Right. It's a student pass. I think it turned off at like 7 or 8, but it's good for unlimited rides during the week. And so for the student, right? And so for the weekend, I'm like, yo, I got $10 to $15. That's all I had for the weekend, and I had to make it work. And so thinking about it, like that was probably my first moments of like, no, I gotta save. I gotta figure this out. But honestly, it might have even came before that because the summer between my 8th grade and 9th grade year, this is how old I am, 43. The Jordan number 9 Olympics were out, right? So that was like 92, right?
You were born, yeah, born in 95.
So the Olympic Jordans came out, and from the Dream Team, number 9 on Jordan on the back. And my brother was gonna buy them for me. It was like $200, right? I never seen a sneaker that much before, $200. And so he was like, I'm gonna get them. So I went to the mall and I saw him. I went to the front and I was like, hold on, the Reebok Classic is only $40-something. So bro, listen, I bought 4 pair of Reebok Classics. I got white high top, white low top, the black high top, the black low top, and I had 4 pair of sneakers versus getting that one Jordan 9.
For quantity.
Bro, I'm 13. I'm 13 at that time. And I was still on that, like, because I knew my parents weren't buying me sneaks for the year. Right. I'm like, I'd rather have 4 pair of Reeboks that's gonna last me for a while. I could change out Then that one pair of Jordans just gonna be thick probably like the next 2 weeks, and I gotta wear them for months after that.
Right.
You know, so I don't know where it came from, but you know, that was big. I gotta honest.
I respect that. So I see you got on the cash flow bro shirt. What
Okay,
where
so
did that come from?
what that is I'm all about collaboration. Like I would rather see the whole win than win on my own, right? And that's in everything that I do. And so I'm putting together something big here in Philly, and now I got 2 big announcements that I'm hoping, you know, the first one will happen next week. The second one might be a few months, but I got something big brewing here in Philly. So with this is my partner. His name is Justin. He's a licensed contractor. People talk about no new friends. I just met bro like 5 or 6 years ago at a poker game, and we hit it off. We've been super close ever since. And so we came together on the education side, right? He was already doing some online education, and then I had written a book about finding off-market properties, and I had a community, and it's a lot of work. Like having a community, teaching people is a lot of work. And so I just approached him. I was like, listen, let's work together. And he was like, he got nothing to lose because he's not making money at it, but it's taking a lot of time. And I'm like, I'm making decent money, but it's still taking up my time. But if we market it to the same people, I'm like, why are we spending the money marketing to the same people? But now we can really put our bread together, market to more people, and we both eat better, and we can both manage the community, we can both market. And to be honest, I didn't realize how different our skill sets were until we got together. Our skill sets are very different. We're both in real estate. We have the same mindset when it comes to real estate. We have the same drive, a lot of the same philosophies. But the way that we work, our skills are totally different. And so it works, like I said. So we do have our online education platform where we do teach people how to invest in real estate. But even beyond that, so at that part is how we find our properties off market. Listen, bro, this is Philly. I bought a house for $500 a couple months ago. I bought a lot for $2,500. I bought a house maybe 2 months ago for $25,000. Like these numbers are heard of. These are hard to get these numbers. You know, again, I'm under the house. $1 million deal talking to my earlier. $1 million deal. I bought that house. I'm under contract for $210,000 for that property. And this is where vision comes in. And I paid a premium for the house at $210,000 for the house, but I paid more than anybody else would. But the house is going 10,000 square feet. I know the zoning code. I know I could tear the house down and I could build 4 houses that'll suffer 600,000 apiece. Right? Understanding zoning code. So these are the things that we teaching people in the program. But not only that, how not to get burned by the contractor, how to manage the contractor, how to be your own contractor, when, where, and how to buy a house. Like these things are all important. But even beyond that, it's like, okay, then what? Now that you're getting cash flow, what do you do with the cash? What do you put it in? And that's when we bring in other experts to tell you, okay, now that you're getting this 500, 2,000, whatever it is a month, what do you do with that money and how do you really scale that money up, right? We don't want you to spend it. We don't want you to save it. We want you to invest it, right? Like these things. And so we show you how to do it. And I'm going to give you this formula real quick because I think it's important. And hopefully you can cut this part up and make it a, big part of the joint. But this right, I used to work in public housing before I was full-time, right? I used to manage. I was a property manager in the projects. Basically, we had 500 units. In the period of 18 months, like 12 of my residents were murdered. Right, all young Black men, all murdered. Right, in that 18-month span, and I still feel some trauma from working there. And I just worked there, so I can imagine like being born and raised and living there. Like how I didn't have that experience, right? And so I was thinking like, okay, this was last year. I was thinking, what can someone from that environment do to get wealthy and they have like limited resources, right? And the first thing is they have to work. It's free. Like even if you make only $30,000 a year, right? Anything below 30 is gonna be a little tough. But if you make at least $30,000 a year, this is a super simple formula for you to really retire comfortably, right? First of all, buy it. If you work, got decent credit, buy your first property. You only put down 3.5%, right?
Mhm.
You can buy up to a 4 unit with that 3.5%. But for this purpose, let's just say it's a duplex, right? So then you have the duplex, the tenant's paying. Now you're no longer paying rent, whatever. That money is staying in,
Mhm.
right? Then just buy one every year. So imagine if you're 20 years old, if you bought one duplex every year, and let's say you average $500 for the whole building, it's
Mhm.
$500. Right now, you got 40 doors, right?
Mhm.
And you're making $10,000 a month, right? And now, what if you just take one of those buildings and take
Mhm.
$500 a month from that and
Mhm.
invest it into the stock market? And don't pick stocks, just buy index funds that follow the entire S&P. Right, the S&P has been giving back 8% per year since 1967, on average, up years, down years, but on average about 8%. Over a period of 20 years, you would have around $400,000, and you'll be making $10,000 a month. Why do you need to work after that?
That's
Right?
heavy.
Life get real easy. Mind you, I didn't say anything about all the other money from all the other doors, the other
Mhm.
$9,500 a month. I said nothing about that. I just said $500 a month, and you still
Mhm.
got 95 other $100 a month, right? And you probably still got your job, and your job might got a 401k, so you got all of that. And then if you make it $1,000 now, you're 40 years old, 42, 43 years old, with $1 million liquid. You still get
Mhm.
your job maybe, and you got $10,000 a month. Ain't no
Mhm.
more. Who told you that you had to retire at 65? That is not a requirement. People plan their lives to retire at 65. You don't have to do that.
Right.
You don't.
Oh,
You don't
that's
have to,
heavy.
right? And so if you make, and thing is, you don't have to already be a millionaire. I
Mhm.
just told you how to do it for making 30,000 a year. I didn't give you no
Mhm.
raises. I didn't nothing. If you
Right.
make $30,000 a year, and have discipline and just do these two things. Buy one duplex a year. Don't be aggressive like me. Buy one duplex a year and put
Mhm.
$500 a month, follow S&P.
Mhm.
Life
That's
be
heavy.
super easy.
That's heavy. So, would you recommend um Section 8, or would you rather get a property management team?
I do both, right? So I don't manage my own property. I manage like one of my properties. I don't like it. I don't mind paying that premium. Um, I'll pay the premium for quality of life, right? I
Mhm.
don't want to take them phone calls and do the repairs. And like Justin manages his own properties. He has a
Mhm.
crew. I
Okay.
don't. Now I gotta find somebody. I got people I can call. He can
Mhm.
just send one of his guys over to his maintenance. I don't have that.
Mhm.
Listen, I give a property management company, I give them a $500 retainer. Don't even, if something break, less than 500, don't even call me. Don't even call me. Less than $500, don't call me. Just
Right.
fix it. Send me the invoice for the month. That's it. Just send me the invoice. Let me know. Don't
Okay.
call me. Just fix it, whatever it is, right? And
Mhm.
so, yeah, right now I'm more about peace of mind and quality of life. Are you changing?
Yeah, I'm
You
here.
think on that?
No, no, I'm here. It just unplugged.
Yeah,
We
no,
joking.
my camera used to go dead like that. So nah, man. So yeah, right now I'm more about quality of life and peace of mind, rather than the save a buck. I am frugal, but my time is more valuable than that percentage that I'm paying for somebody else to do the work. Even though it's not a ton of work,
Mhm.
I don't want to do any of it. Plus, they take better accounting than I do. I get it.
Okay.
So now if I pay a property manager, I also get an accountant. I see where all the money is going to. They have it there. I'm
Okay.
terrible with receipts and all of that. So I let them
Mhm.
handle that.
So, we're going into that. I want to talk about like, that work ethic and that consistency, because you can do all of those things, but if you're not consistent and you're looking to hurry and sell, like how do you become consistent and have that work ethic?
So I like watching my money grow, right? And so if I'm not consistent and I don't buy a house, my money can't grow as fast, right? If I'm not investing my money, it doesn't grow as fast. So it's easy to be consistent when you know the results. It's hard to be consistent if you can't see the results.
Mm-hmm.
And some people, and because I'm frugal, I don't need to spend the money. I like to see it grow. And I think about, what's my life like? What it's going to be. And don't get me wrong, like I'm starting to spend money. I took my wife in May. I took my wife for her first time on first class, and I can't get her back to coach for nothing now. So I'm definitely spending like a little bit more money. But listen,
You earned it.
here's the beautiful part though. I renovate my houses on my credit card.
Mm-hmm.
My points are stupid. So
Yeah,
now,
that's the secret gem right
I'm
there.
not even, because I spend, first class this and suite that, my points go kind of quick, but I'm renovating houses. And so the points build back up. So I can take some nice trips without spending my own money.
That's heavy. That part about the credit card, like using those cards and getting those points. That's how you fly free. That's how you,
That's
man.
how, listen, man, listen, I took my wife, we went to Colombia, first class tickets. We had our suite. Our suite was 1,100 square feet. It was like ocean views, windows on 3 sides, 1.5 bathrooms. The suite was amazing, great experience. And all thanks to the credit card points.
That's heavy. Another thing I want to talk about, I ain't gonna hold you too much longer. What's one big thing you learned? What's something that you would go back and tell your past self that you've learned over these years up to this point that you think will help you going forward?
I would invest earlier in other passive income other than real estate. I'm telling you, until the pandemic, I was all real estate.
Mm-hmm.
But the formula that I gave you, had I been doing that, I would have way more money than I have now because I would invest more than $5 a month. I was wasting a lot of bread doing dumb stuff if I wasn't even getting back, right? Trying to impress women and buying this and going to the bar. Nah, man, I wouldn't even, all of that stuff I wouldn't even do. I promise you, I would be a better investor earlier. That's the main thing I would do, put more money away earlier.
Respect that. I don't got much else for you. I guess the last thing I could have you do is just, if you don't mind, just leaving the people with just some words of wisdom, just something that they could carry with them, going forward in their entrepreneurships and business decisions.
So if anybody is not investing, you should do it. Even in real estate, whatever, I think that real estate comes first because it's difficult to take your earned income, take your paycheck and put that in the stock market. It's difficult.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to have your tenant every month taking their money and putting that in the stock market. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then I want you to buy more houses because your job is less stressful when you don't need it.
Right. More
Right.
comfortable.
Listen, man, you right now you stressed out, you aggravated because you feel like you gotta go. I know I was there. I was angry at the job, but not really the job is because of me, because I felt like I had to be there, but because I really had to be there at that moment. But when I didn't necessarily need them, I didn't care what they said. I was like, listen, you gonna suspend me, you gonna fire me, what you gonna do? It don't matter. Your stress level go down, your relationship
Mm-hmm.
go, get better. You're not angry all the time, you're not snappy, it's better for your health, you're not having strokes early,
Mm-hmm.
so just invest. I think in real estate, especially because you get appreciation, especially like what Atlanta is doing. Atlanta, Philly, like North Carolina, like all of these places, the money it just keep coming. The money
Right.
just keep coming. So invest early, invest often, and stop spending money. Just stop. Stop.
I mean, I can't put it no better. I mean, listen, people, y'all gonna watch this and be like, man, you ain't say much. I'm not about to interrupt this man. This man is speaking game right now. I'm not about to mess his flow up. None of that. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate everybody who tuned in. You got to drop your social for people. Obviously, I'm gonna put it in the description below, and I'm gonna also put it on the video. But drop your show socials, let people know where they can find you and what you got coming up, and what different links and things you got they can get access to.
All right, for sure. So my social is real Instagram mostly is real estate underscore coach underscore Carter. My business for me, my guy Justin is Cashflow Bros. So that's Cashflow underscore Bros BROS, and that's where you can find us. What we are doing is we do have a free webinar that we every Wednesday we show people exactly how we invest in real estate. It's every Wednesday, right? So all they have to do to come to get that link is go to cashflowbrowaitlist.com. That's cashflowwaitlist.com. Was it cashflow? Make sure we get it right for the
Yeah,
folks.
get that right. I'm gonna
Right.
put that in the description and stuff for them.
Yeah, right. It's cashflowwaitlist.com. So cashflowwaitlist.com. And you get a link to that free webinar. We show you guys, how we're able to have this level of success. And neither one of us started with a silver spoon, right?
Mhm.
Both of us came from very humble beginnings, and we were able to build up multi-million-dollar real estate portfolios. And it doesn't take a genius to do it. It just takes being consistent.
That's the key. Well, there you go. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Check this video out. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and tag, share, do all that good stuff. Peace. We out.